A lot of students here at school consider taking the summers off, which is totally understandable. They work you hard here and you need a break. You need to get out into the sun, you need to get out into the world. Well, why not do exactly that, but also be getting some fantastic work experience and meeting new people that you wouldn't normally work with? And that's exactly what you'll be doing in the summer studio class.
As an audio student, I was really excited to be a part of this because this is something that I'd never done before. In the audio department, we learn how to record, usually in studio. We learn how to do so many things. I guess you can call it in the box. And what we're doing here is going outside the box, working in the field, like doing something really, really real. It was real cool.
Last summer, I took the summer studio class for a second time because I felt like it would be the perfect place to sharpen the last of my skills that I felt like needed polishing prior to portfolio and graduation. So the whole idea of the class is you get outside, you get a bit of a suntan, you work with a real client, and you're working in the real world and you're having a good time doing it.
This summer we were dealing with two clients. We had the Virginia 5, which is a very, very old steamship. The other client that we were working with was called the Center for Wooden Boats, which is a small organization which maintains, owns, and rents out wooden boats.
The Virginia 5 is a historic wooden steam-powered vessel, and we wanted to produce a documentary to bring it public awareness and generate interest because it's a National Historic Landmark, and it's pretty much the last of its kind. I had great pleasure in filming the voyages it took over the summer, as well as interviewing crew members, all of whom have great amount of love for this vessel and this piece of history.
The Center for Wooden Boats it's like a museum. They offer people an opportunity to have hands-on experiences of what it's like to see a wooden boat, or play with a wooden boat, or get in a wooden boat.
You're going to want to get to starboard, whichever way I'm pointing. Okay.
I've never been in a boat. I got to be in a boat.
One of the more fun things we did was we went on a chase boat filming the Virginia 5 passing by. It's a lot of fun. It can be challenging because you have to hold a camera steady in a small boat, sometimes in rough waters, but it's something that you never really do in a classroom setting, and that's why I really enjoy this class.
Have you guys gone down there yet?
Not yet.
Oh, God. Come on.
The thing about this job that I love the most is you get to go interesting places.
And you've got to back your way down. You'll not let you go down the front.
You know, every day I get to go on a field trip. And certainly the Virginia 5 was one hell of a field trip.
That's what opens and closes the valve for the steam to get into the engines.
So they invite us on the boat, we get to go down to the engine, and you don't get to do these kinds of things every day. And it's certainly not in an office job. So one fun thing we did was grab a ferry and hop over to Vashon Island and visit this Vashon History Museum. They were so enthusiastic to help us. They brought out all these old, just volumes and volumes of photos that we went through and found pictures of life on the island, Virginia 5. They were so happy to help us with really anything we wanted.
What these Historic Society members were doing, they were going through all these old photos and archiving them and making sure that future generations could benefit from all this knowledge. It was kind of like an extreme scrapbooking scenario. It was kind of an interesting process to see, myself being very young, and seeing all these people that really had a deep-seated love for the historic fabric of the area that they live in.
And in that time,
We interviewed a lot of people for this project. Easily the most memorable was a group of former Camp Fire girls. You've got all these girls that were taken to and from this camp every summer for 50 years, and their adventure starts on a boat. I reached out to the local Camp Fire people, and we found this great group of Camp Fire girls that came out. They sang songs.
We welcome you to Camp CF. We're mighty glad you're here.
They were so enthusiastic, so excited to be back on the Virginia V as they know it, and I think it added a real special element to the project.
Hail, hail, the gang's all here. Welcome to Camp CL.
One of my favorite stories.
I learned some things that I didn't know about as far as there's a big difference between working in the field and working in a controlled environment, say as in the studio. When you're out there in the field and you're working with wind, or you're working with airplanes, and you're working with everything that is against you, like you think of Murphy's Law and you think of boom, oh my God, what was that noise? Where'd those seagulls come from? All these weird things that you don't expect when you're in the box. Being able to be the location person and also the post-production person helped me a lot as far as my education goes. How do you get that wind out of the interview without manipulating the voice too much? There was cleaning up the audio and learning about high-pass filters and low-pass filters. I mean, it's one thing to get the theory of it, but to actually implement the theory into actual practice. I got that a lot with this project.
I would highly encourage other students to take practicum classes. Take the summer studio class, take the revolutionary studio class, because you're actually doing something for an actual client, which demands a level of quality and a level of professionalism that goes above and beyond what a student usually does. And that's going to get you an edge in this job market.
Well, I graduated right after the summer studio in 2012, and it didn't take long for me to find work. And I attribute that totally to the fact that I really focused on corporate and documentary and commercial style work. I landed a job at Microsoft, and at the moment I have more freelance work than I can realistically get done, and I'm just busy, which is great. There's a whole world out there in television and corporate and documentary work, and this is what can actually sustain you and make you a good living.
That's a little too much headroom, but you can still keep all that detail if you lower your tripod a little bit.
The skills that you learn in documentary production can carry you a very long way in the professional world. I would absolutely recommend that all video and audio students here at the school should take this class and should throw themselves into it 100%, because the things that you'll learn will absolutely benefit you throughout your career.